Hey everyone, today I'm creating a variety of cards using the July 2024 SheetLoad of Cards template. Now this one is a 5x7 this month, so a little different. I don't normally create cards anything other than standard US A2. So I have tried to create a variety of cards this time by just making a few slight adjustments to the sketch. I am part of the creative team, and you will find a link below to a playlist with the rest of the creative team's creations. And so you can go and check out everyone's interpretation of the card sketch. So today I'm using a 6x8 from Honeybee, and this one is Spooktacular. It is actually a Halloween paper pack, but I'm using it for everything except Halloween. So I have some Christmas cards and some just general hello cards, and you can see here I'm matching up the Spooktacular with some of these 1.5-inch strips that I have a huge supply of, and I'm trying to work through on some of my card projects. So if I'm using these pattern papers or base layers that have a little bit of a design, some obviously have some stripes and some crisscrossy checks, and other ones are just a little bit of a gradient. They make an excellent background when partnered up with another piece of pattern paper. So I've gone through, I've found some pattern papers that I really want to use. I've made, I think, a pile of about 5 or 6 different options. And once I've done this, I then go through and I clear off my desk, and then I just sorted through which of these ones I was actually going to turn into cards. So today I did go through and make, I think I made 3 lots of 4. So I think I made 12 cards. And then I did have a couple of extras that I had partnered up the paper that I put aside and did not use. And then I did have some unfinished cards today, which is quite unusual for me. For the first set of cards, I cut down the 6x8 panels to 4x6, which is super convenient for the card sketch. I get 2 panels out of one of the Honeybee art pieces. Now, because I have these strips that are 1.5, I just went through and cut them into 3/4 of an inch each. And then I'm intending to do 2 strips on the front of each card, just matted in white. So you can see here, this is pretty close to the actual sketch itself. And so the first set that I created, I kind of followed what was intended, but I wasn't yet sure what I was going to do for a sentiment, and I really wasn't sure what I was going to do to embellish the card either. Was I going to add some decoration to it, just find a large sentiment? At this stage, I wasn't sure. So I prepared all of these backing panels in all of the different designs and attached them all to white card bases. And then I decided what I was going to do for a decoration. So for me, this felt a little bit like how I do other card challenges where I did it in stages. So here I'm adding these panels to the really giant white card. I'm really not used to dealing with 5x7, especially as an Australian, where it was difficult to figure out how I was going to use cardstock to create this size of card base. I did work it out in the end, obviously. So here I am just lining it up, putting it in the middle. And one of the things that I decided is it really does look like it's got a really big border and a lot bigger than I'm used to. So as I was working through this, I thought it might be worth adding a matting layer to it. So I decided to add 1/8 of an inch of a black matting layer. And I just have this really economical cardstock here. It's really actually heavy black paper. It's Anko brand, which is from Kmart. They have it here in Australia and I think New Zealand. I managed to get basically 3 matting layers out of each A4 sheet, so that worked out okay. So now I'm moving on to the next card design, and I decided, could I do something without mats? So adding mats takes time. It does add definition, and I love that pop on the card, especially that black I think looks great. But with this kind of coppery color, I decided to wing it. And I've put one of the thicker 1.5-inch strips and then one of the smaller strips. So instead of 2 thin ones with matting layers, this time I've got 2 with no mats, and I'm going to do the big one at the bottom and have it go off the edge of the matting layer and just leave it the size of the cardstock that I had, which I think is 6.5 long. And the pattern paper has those 2 rows. For the next design, I actually did a bit of a hybrid. So what I've done is a bigger piece and then a smaller piece with black mats to put onto the green. So interestingly, I did create some Christmas in July cards. So there's a few Christmas cards that I can add to my stash super early this year. So just lining these up so that I've got the black matting layers, as I said, it goes right to the edge of the paper. So it's 6 inches wide this time. It's not going to have any kind of overhang. And I just had it so that it was matted at the top and the bottom, not across the right and left hand side. So that made the matting super, super easy. If you're enjoying the video, it would be fantastic if you could hit the like button. That is how YouTube understands that you're enjoying the video and will share it to more viewers. You could also hit the subscribe button and add a comment below. Okay, so now I'm adding the embellishments to the cards, and I have taken feedback from previous videos where people have said they love to see different cards or cards embellished slightly differently if they've got a similar base layer. So I dug through my stash and I found this really cute Joy to the World sentiment, and I've just matted both of these in, the first one in black and then the Joy to the World in gold, just using up some leftovers. I also found these little Holly Jolly Christmas. I'm pretty sure this stamp set is from Tim Holtz, and I think it was one of the Christmas specials through Stamptember for Simon Says Stamp. So I'm not sure if it's available, but anything that I use today, I will try and link below if it's available. Some of the things are definitely very old, and I was just using up my stash today. So I encourage you to grab what you've got and make the most of it. For these ones here with the circles, I had these in my stash from using some circle dies to create rings, and I used those rings to just decorate the front of the card. And it just turned out that I had some brown circles that were the perfect size to go with the pink rings, and they matched the pattern paper. So it is kind of amazing what you can find if you dig around in your leftovers. For each of these, I did make them slightly different. So this one has the ring like literally around the brown. The other one, it was obviously separate. For the next card design, when I move on to that copper colour, I made all 4 of these cards differently. Now, they're using similar elements. I've got the yellow circles and I've got some gold here, and I honestly didn't think about it too much. Now, if I'd laid them out a little better, maybe I would have been happier with the designs, but I just decided I was going to glue everything on and see how I went. So the open circle, the big yellow one, I think I would have put the gold at the bottom differently on the card, maybe. But I still like it. It still looks super interesting, and obviously it's a bigger card, so I am not used to working with this size. I then added the ring on this one with the best wishes in the middle, and I love the simplicity of that one. For the next one, I think I got a little creative by cutting apart the circles and spreading them around the front of the card. In this one, I do decorate more of the card front. So instead of just doing a little bit of interest on the left-hand side, you can see here with the second half of this circle, I've just tucked that under the corner and made it go all the way to the right-hand side. I then fiddled around a little bit with the sentiment. I wasn't sure if I should put it in the middle or offset. And then I decided, look, that top corner looks a little bit empty. So I've popped a little half circle. And so I really have decorated most of the front of this card. And I do like this style because I feel like it's added a lot more interest and there's a lot more coverage. For the next one here, I cannot remember what I did. I think I don't know, what did I do? Another little cluster. So adding the yellow, adding one of the gold circles, and then adding the circle on top. And then that means that the 4th one of these is completed. Now, I do have those 4 extra cards on the left-hand side. I have not finished these. If you have any suggestions, put them in the comments below. I have put another video here that I think you might enjoy. Have a great day.